Hey y'all, this is Lydia. I have a couple of messages coming in for Virgo season. The first one is bringing joy back into our process. And this is Virgo's, karmic lesson for people with Virgo placements. It can be taking the joy out of our process or making everything into work. And the light is being shown on where we're getting too caught up in productivity and too out of our playful creative energies. The sun entering Virgo season this year was with Venus and Leo, and that's opening us up to our hearts, what our heart wants, our love based creativity, what we want to do that we love, and perhaps even what we can do that we love that we can also make a sustainable living off of. That can be a theme for some people. But the main issue or the main theme is where we're taking the joy out of our process and perhaps where we're being too caught up in making things perfect or making things productive, that are the divine and our ancestors more specifically are trying to shift our focus to get back to the open energy, that more open air, breeze coming through, playful ease energy, where we're not getting too distracted by, oh, it needs to be a certain way, or even puttering ourselves out by, in our minds, we want it to be something very specific. And because we're being so attached to that specific outcome, we're not getting started in the first place. So the energies right now are really putting our awareness on that. And we're being called to be really honest about where we're dragging our own energy down and what we can do to lighten it up and to invite more air in and to invite more playfulness in. And the second message that's been coming through is reality checks and perhaps where things have gotten out of hand and perhaps where something got out of integrity that is being asked to be brought back into integrity. For example, and this is a long-term example for me, it's my hair. And with the North Node in Taurus, it's been, Taurus rules beauty, it rules our appearance and what we want to look like and how we want to present ourselves to the world. That is our highest self-worth and value. And for me, that's getting my skin back in order and getting my hair back in order. And something that came down hard is as I started to put more energy into my hair, I noticed just how bad my hair loss has gotten since I entered my 30s. And this has been, the last 5 years. I'm gonna be 35 this Sunday. And these last 5 years, it's been very gradual, but now that I'm actually putting my awareness on it, and now that I'm actually wanting to bring some integrity into my self-care and realizing that's an important way that I love myself is my self-care, the hammer really came down the last couple of days and just how bad the hair loss is. And I went into despair a little bit. It was very disheartening, but at the same time, I am putting my energy into getting the oils and getting the things in order for me to get my density back. But what I noticed too, and this has been in the air, is just because I'm disheartened and perhaps feeling a little low because I'm realizing just how bad things got, I'm also very excited and very much looking forward to initiating a new tier with like how I take care of my hair and my relationship with my hair, because my entire life I've been in denial of it. I don't want to do it. I hate doing my hair. I would just wash my hair once a week. I wouldn't get haircuts. And the call now is to bring that into integrity. It's like, okay, if you love yourself, and being part of loving yourself is looking the way you want to look and feeling very abundant and fertile in your appearance and in your body, then you have to put the foot forward and actually change the things that need changing. And that means, on one hand, yes, accept that, there's this low energy, but on the other hand, I'm also very excited. And that doesn't mean something's wrong. We can have those two things together. Those aren't necessarily things competing with each other. We can feel disheartened. We can feel low. We can feel like, damn. But at the same time, we can also feel, but I'm ready. I'm ready to make those changes, and I'm ready to renew the contracts, and I'm ready to, and that's true too. Mars in Gemini, and we're going to go through a Mars retrograde in Gemini coming in October, which Gemini rules contracts and personal contracts as well. So renewing those contracts and Mars taking action on what needs to change and really being committed in that and moving forward in that, and not allowing the denser energies, perhaps the letdown, to be the end of it, but allow it to be the catalyst, what actually gets us moving and actually gets us going. So if the hammer's coming down, because Virgo rules reality checks, of things coming down hard, of like, oh God, how did it get this bad, or how did it get to this point? we're being called to really embrace those energies as that catalyzing energy of, okay, that's the hammer coming down. Now we can take that energy and make it a motivating energy and transform it and transmute it into sort of this vitality, initiatory, taking action sort of energy to actually start making those changes and bringing things back into integrity. Because Virgo rules integrity, and it rules the integrity of the body as well. It rules doctors, medicine, and this idea of having that analytical nature and looking at the truth and perhaps even feeling that truth come down on us, but at the same time being in our capability and in our self-worth and value to say, okay, I have the ability to resolve this, or to bring it back into something that I feel is what I need and what I want for myself. So those are the two major lessons coming in for Virgo season. And this all goes back into our personal process of how we, the rituals or routines, which is also Virgo, of what we need in order to be in our highest light. But those are the two things, like getting back to our joy, getting back to our playfulness, and also not allowing any sort of reality checks to put us out entirely. Perhaps we need to take a few days, perhaps we need to just sit in those denser energies for a while. But the divine is reminding us too that we have it in us as creator beings to also get up off our butts and get out of that energy and to pull ourselves up in order to bring things back into a proper order that we feel good about on a personal level, not the people around us, not our outside influences coming in trying to tell us what we need, but what we know in our hearts we need. So that's the energy that's coming through today, and my guides have been on me about getting back into videos. So I'm going to continue to build, because that's another thing too that's been coming in, and that's the beauty of Virgo season. It's what we've been working on since Pisces season comes into a material manifestation. So for me, I'm also learning how I receive messages and how messages come in and how they build over time, and to really be patient with that process, which patience is Virgo too. So it's this energy too of being really honest about where we're being called to be in a new tier and a new level of mastery, and being aware of that and paying attention to that, and not necessarily mistaking fate for misfortune. It's this idea of, okay, it might be harder, but it's harder because you can handle it, and there's something here that you're being called to put your attention on, so you can really go to that next level and to be in that next level and to really enjoy it too, and not be caught up in the denser energies. So I'm sending love and wishing you well.